Hello, Redlow friends. Wow, it's definitely been a while since I've been here behind this microphone, and I have missed it more than you know. This is my favorite place, my sacred space, as I've shared before. I love sitting here with my warm cup of coffee in the early hours of the morning, just sharing my thoughts and helping you step forward with your life one step at a time, and talking about how we navigate these midlife transitions and overcome obstacles, and then sharing tools about how we can take transformative steps to discover our next purpose, as well as sharing stories about other midlife women who've been through really hard things and turned that pain into a purpose. So, where have I been? I've been taking a course. It's been great, but it has taken a lot of my time. And I've realized that it's pulled me in so many different directions. And I've learned that anytime we grow and level up with our personal lives and our businesses, we tend to get beat up a bit, so to speak, because we're learning new things. And we're learning new things about ourselves. We're being stretched and we're growing, right? It makes us feel a bit disheveled, as I say. I love that word because it means messy, disordered, ruffled. Yes, we feel unsettled in kind of the best way, because we're being stretched to think differently, to step out of our comfort zone, because what got us here to where we are now can't get us to where we're headed next. And that's where I am. I need to grow and learn new things so that I can best serve those women in my community. Anyway, I've had to essentially tidy up and refocus my energy on what matters most to me. What am I really, really called to do? And where do I put my energy? Because these distractions that we have, all good, right? But they can get us off track and often deplete our energy. And sometimes we're well down that road or well down that path, and suddenly we're realizing that we're running out of gas and we're on a detour in somewhere completely unknown. So we just have to pull over, find the nearest rest stop, reevaluate, rest, and refuel. And that's where I've been. So I woke up in the stillness of the morning. I could hear the world around me coming alive, with the voices of the wild coyotes that howled across the golf course, the sweet little owl that now hoots in a nearby tree every morning. And then I hear my favorite rooster, who crows every morning, reminding me that it's the dawn of a new day. So I rise, I go get my coffee, I watch the sunrise, I see the world come alive, and I hear the birds begin to joyfully sing. Now, if you know anything about me, the morning is my sacred time. I love the mornings. I love the calm and peace and quiet, the serenity of it all. I love the sunrise, and I just like that calm feeling that I have inside. And so I really treasure my mornings, and they mean so much to me. It's when my mind is the most awake and when I say that God speaks to me the most. So as I listen to these sounds of the world kind of awakening and these voices around me, of nature, I thought, wow, we're all created to use our voice for self-expression in some way, right? Nature, the animals, and we as humans. God gave us this amazing instrument, a powerful voice for self-expression. Whether we howl or sing or communicate our thoughts and feelings and ideas, it's a gift, right? Whether we write or speak or sing, and it's powerful. And then I was reminded about a chapter in my book, Step Forward. The chapter's called Use Your Voice. I quote Michelle Obama. She says, "There's power in allowing yourself to be known and heard, in owning your unique story, in using your authentic voice." I love that quote. It has a lot of meaning to me. And if you've been following me for a while, you know at the end of every podcast I say, you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, and you belong. And the reason I say that is because I want women everywhere to know that their voice matters, and that they are seen, and they are heard, and they are loved, and they belong. Yes, your voice matters, and there's power in using your voice. Strength, courage, and confidence are all rooted in believing that what you have to say matters and can help someone else. It is why I teach women to step forward and into their potential, to find their voice and their God-given talents for what's next, to take that pain and transform it into purpose. Whether you want to write or speak or coach or inspire, whatever it is, you have a gift and a powerful tool to share your story. So allow yourself to be known and heard. So I decided I needed some self-care the other day, and I needed to clear my mind because I've been doing all these things and feeling spread really thin. When I feel that way, I go to the mountains, specifically to this little tiny mountain town off the Pacific Crest Trail called Idlewild. It's nestled within the San Jacinto Mountains, and this little tourist town doesn't have much to offer, except it's an amazing respite for hikers and a mountain getaway for tourists and shoppers, riders, and wanderers. You can definitely hike and bike and eat, drink, rest, and just take in the mountain air. For me, life slows down the moment I enter that 2-lane road into town. I park my car near my favorite tall pine trees in the center of town. I open my car door and instantly I relax. I take in the fragrant aroma of pine. I pause for a moment, and before I do anything else, I take in 3 deep breaths. And then I wander around to all my favorite places. I usually start at the gardens because that's where I can decompress for a while. I sit and swing in the tree of life, and I listen to the waterfall and watch the birds. Next, I wander to an open-air patio back in the center of town. I find a wooden stool, I sit and I listen to a guitarist playing music. Many gather around and listen as well, with their hot lattes or their tea or their mulled spice wine. A while later, I wander into my favorite little coffee shop, where I spent many hours writing my book Step Forward. I'm greeted with a warm smile and a friendly hello as I'm asked, "How can I help you today?" I place my order for a pumpkin spice latte because it's fall after all. The coffee is roasted on site, so as I stand and wait for my latte, that aroma of coffee just fills the air. It makes me smile. The lattes are delicious because they're made with real almond milk. Delicious, I think to myself. This quaint little coffee shop is always bustling with people, so as I wait for my latte, I'm always intrigued by who walks in and just watching people and their human behavior. I get my latte, and then I wander to the back of the little coffee shop. I find a small table near the books. I peruse through the books and choose Chicken Soup for the Writer's Soul. The book immediately opens to Finding Your Voice. Tears fill my eyes because I've been feeling really prompted to really hone in on helping women find their voice. Serendipitous, I think to myself. Maybe God just guiding me forward. And God's Spirit reminding me what I'm really meant to do. And as I sit there, I hear, keep stepping forward. I pay attention to these small whispers in my soul, because here God also speaks to me. Then I read an excerpt from Elizabeth Engstrom. When I was young, the only thing I ever wanted to be was a writer. I always knew that someday I'd see my name on the spine of a book. But it wasn't until I had a little life under my belt, a few gray hairs, a few credits from the School of Hard Knocks, a little life experience, and something to say about the hope for mankind, that I was ready to sit down at that keyboard and pour out my mystifications, the message. The message that burdens every writer had finally floated to the top of my psyche. My message had gelled. It was time to write. Powerful, right? For all of you who are wondering when it's time to write, sit quietly and listen to those words. She goes on to share that she took a class from a fiction writer, Theodore Sturgeon, and she was so excited. She had so many questions for him. But on that very first night of the class, he said, "It doesn't matter what you write. What you believe will show through." I sat and pondered this for a moment. What you believe will show through. Suddenly, she realized that it was not necessarily the genre she chose, whether it was a romance, a western, a science fiction, a horror, a comedy, or whatever she chose. Who she was would shine through. Yes, her author's voice would shine through. Your voice will always shine through. Powerful, isn't it? Yes, our message is important. The world needs it. The world needs our voice. What you write, what you speak, but what you write doesn't really matter. What you believe will always show through. We get caught up in trying to make it all perfect, don't we? The exact words we should use and how we should say it. And if you're a writer, you love words. You can be that word nerd and kind of ponder all those different words. I've been there. I love the words. But They can also paralyze us and keep us from taking action or moving forward. In fact, it keeps many writers from ever publishing their work. And as someone who has written a book, you just have to do it. You just have to move forward. You probably already have most of it written. Your book is a timestamp of your thoughts in this moment and in this season of time. You'll always want to change it. You'll always want to edit it or add. But just like any great artist, there comes a time when you have to put down your paintbrush or your pen or just stop typing and know that it's done. And then reach down, pull on those courageous cowboy boots, as I say, and step forward and put your work out into the world. That's the hardest part. There's no magic or secret to it. It's just finding the courage to let yourself be seen and heard and feel vulnerable. You just have to do it. And those who are meant to read your work and find your work will find it. As I thought about all of this applies to other areas of our life, doesn't it? Whatever we start, whenever we're starting something new, we're putting ourselves out there and being vulnerable. But no matter what the work is, who we are will always shine through. Whether you're starting a business or speaking on a podcast, writing a book, whatever it is, who you are will always shine through. So what's the key takeaway? What have I learned? Make sure you go to your happy place that allows your mind, your body, and your spirit to rest and allow God's Spirit to speak to you. Yes, that place where you can hear your inner voice, that spirit inside. For me, it's definitely going to the mountains. And as John Muir says, the mountains are calling, and I must go. I feel that in my soul. That's where God speaks to me. I'm undistracted. My senses are more in tune to my spirit. My eyes can focus on the beauty around me, nature. I hear the stillness in the trees and the little creek that runs nearby. I can smell the pine and breathe in the fresh air, and I can feel the texture of the world around me. It is in the mountains that I gain clarity. And so what was impressed on me is my next step is really empowering women to transform their past pain into finding their voice and stepping forward into their true potential. As I speak now, you can hear the emotion in my voice. And I know my sweet friend out there is going to say, yes, Terry, this is it. So if you're in a place where you need help figuring out what's next, my next course will start November 1st, and we are going to go from pain to purpose. I will help you step forward, find your voice, and discover your true potential. I'm on a mission to help women step forward and to discover their true calling by overcoming obstacles and things that have held them back and take courageous action towards a more fulfilling life. And we walk through 4 pillars. I actually have an acronym called SOAR, S-O-A-R. We start right where you are with all your gifts, talents, strengths, and experience, all of those things that you've already done really well in your life, and we look at them. And then I help you overcome those obstacles and limiting beliefs that have held you back. And this is actually where I have a very keen superpower that I kind of hone in and help you discover specifically those areas in your life that have held you back. And then I help you take action, that courageous action to actually move forward. And we create a plan for you to actually go do that and then rise up and radiate that idea into the world. It's awesome. I've been there, I've done this, and I know how to get you from point A to point B. And I will save you a lot of time and a whole lot of pain and a whole lot of money through these steps that I have created for my own journey. And it's a transformative journey, and it's a fun journey because you'll get clarity and gain confidence to embrace your next chapter with purpose. Until we meet again, dear one, know that you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, and you belong. And may you continue to step forward, and may God truly bless you. Have an amazing day. Hey friends, thanks so much for listening in today. Just as a disclaimer, as I always like to say, I'm not a therapist or a professional. These are just my words and my experience from my own life and words from things that I've written in my book, Step Forward. Go have an amazing day, and thanks for stopping by.